Soccer Sam by John Merrill, illustrated by Branch Sims. The plan of Mexico was ready. Sam stood at the airport window and watched. He was going to meet the coach Macro for the first time. Soon, a boy Sam's side came through the door. Sam's mother hugged him. Macro, this is Sam, she said slowly. Sam, this is Macro. Hi, said Sam. Suddenly, he felt shy. Okay, who is Macro and who? I think Sam, this is Sam, and this is Macro. Hi, said Sam. Suddenly he felt shy. Ahoy, said Mar softly. In our car, Macro was very quiet. So was Sam. We are happy you have Sam come to live with us this year, said Sam's mother. Safe, said Macro, but he didn't look happy. He just looked out the window. You like sport? Said Sam. Sam loved sport. He was very good at them too. Macro shrugged. He doesn't speak much English, said Sam's mom. When they got home, she said, take Macro out to play Sam and toss him to your friend. What if he doesn't understand what we say? Asked Sam. Speak slowly, said his mom. He learned. Sam and Macro went outside. At the end of the street, kids were shooting basket. Sam's friend loaded towards him the ball. Sam aimed and fired. The ball sailed through the rim. This is my cousin Macro, Sam said. He tried to talk slowly, but it was hard. Macro, this is Billy, Cherise, Lodi, Tommy, and Freddie. Billy showed to Macro the ball. Macro caught it on his head and bounced up and down like a steer. Everyone started to laugh at him. Sam's face got hot. He grabbed the ball and made another basket. Cherise caught the ball under the net. He threw it to Macro. This time, Macro caught the ball on his knee and bounced it up and down. Again, everyone laughed at him. Sam felt the floor. Let's go home, he told Macro. The next day, Sam and Macro went to school together. At recess, they played kickball. When the ball came into Macro, he stopped it with his feet. Don't you ever use your arms? Asked Freddie, but Macro didn't understand. The next time the ball came to him, he stopped with his feet again. Back home, Sam tried to explain the lure of sports to Macro. Hold the ball in your hand, said Sam. When you play basketball, bounce the ball as you turn. It's called dribbling. But Macro just looked at Sam. He didn't understand English. He couldn't even say Sam's name right. He said, Sam. The next day after school, Sam didn't want to go outside. He didn't want to play ball. He was afraid his friend would make fun of Macro. Why don't you draw? Sam's mother asked. So Sam got out his crayons. He drew a picture of a basketball player. Macro drew a picture of his mother and father. Sam's mother looked at his pictures. You know what I think? She said, I think Macro homesick. Let's take him to the mall to cheer it up. At the mall, Sam's mother bought Macro a giant shirt. But it didn't make Macro happy. He didn't know who the giants were. Let's try video games, said Sam. Watch, I show you how to play. Sam played the Pac-Man and got a big high score. Now you go, he said to Macro. Don't worry if you get a good score at first. Macro played Pac-Man and I got better score than Sam. He laughed. I'm Mexico is a Pac-Man also, he said. Macro been sad in every game in the ocean. They walked farther down the mall, looking at sports. When they came into the sports store, Sam stopped to look at footballs, but Macro wasn't interested in the footballs. He ran over to display of black and white birds in boxes. Suddenly he was grinning from ear to ear. Why didn't I think of this before? Said Sam's mom. Most kids in Mexico play soccer. Soccer? Nobody played around here, said Sam. Well, maybe they will now, said his mommy with a smile. Back home, Marco took his new ball outside. He bounced it at his head. He kicked it around with a fit. Cherry saw Billy and came over. Marco picked up the cherries. Cherries caught in with a hand. No hand, said Marco. He kicked to Billy. Billy caught it at it too. No hand, yelled Marco. Head, head. He bounced over on his head. So Marco kicked his hand. Sam let his paw on his cat. Bruno! Cried Marco. Bruno, Sammy! Sam laughed. He kicked the ball back to Marco, who kicked it to Billy. Billy bounced it back to Sam with his head. Bruno, Billy! said Marco. Then he kicked the ball to Cherries. Cherries caught it on his head and bounced into like Billy. Billy caught it on his head and bounced to it to Sam. This is awesome, said Sam. Let's bring the ball to school tomorrow, said Cherries. We show the other kids how to play, said Billy. Bruno, said Marco. Good. The next day at recess, Marco showed the other second graders how to play the soccer. They stood in a circle and passed. Sam caught the ball with his hand. No hand, yelled Marco. Here's Marco. I see this is Marco. The next time someone called the boy's hand, everyone yelled, No hand! It was fun. The Marco turned to the pass with his ball their feet. One tourist picked up his ball with his hand. No hand! Everyone shouted. The third graders came by and laughed. No hand? They said. What a weird game. Some of the second graders first speed. They didn't like to teach by third graders. Forget it, said Sam. I got a plan. Let's practice all week. Then we challenged the third graders a game. They beat of it before. They beat of the basketball and then beat of baseball, but they won't beat us in soccer, will they? The second grader liked the plan. They practiced all week. Sam practiced most of our. One Friday morning, Sam went to third grader in the front. If you think it's so hot, she said, play soccer with us at lunch. That is really hot. The third graders took the challenge. Then everyone went back to class. It was hard to study. Bill said 5 plus 4 was 8. Cherries dropped his notebook on the floor and all his paper fell out. Marco was excited. He forgot the capital of the United States. He said it was Dallas, Texas. Sam was so excited, he could hardly write the spelling word. Finally, it was lunchtime. Everyone ate quickly and rushed outside. The second and third grader met on the field. Sam marked the goal with jacket. Sam marked the goals with jacket. Billy went over the rules. Only the goalie can catch the ball, he said. To score, you have to kick the ball past the goalie and into the place marked by jacket. They began the game. Marco passed the ball to Cherry. Cherry started to dribble the balls up the field. One of the third graders ran up front of him. Cherry passed the ball to Sam. Sam kicked the ball hard but missed. He turned the field. A third grader ran up and kicked it way down the field. When a big hit, third graders were really big and strong. Another third grader kicked the ball into second grader's locker. The score was 1 plus 1 equals 0. The grader scored. The third score rate was a shit. Sam looked worried. No problem, said Macro. He dribbled the ball to opposite goal all by himself. The third graders tried to get the ball away from Macro, but he zigzagged around them. Two of the third graders falling down to catch Macro. Go, Macro, baby, yelled Billy. Macro kicked the ball as the third grader scored. It went in. Now the score was a 1 equals 1 tie. Hooray! Shouted Sam. The third graders at the ball now. Another of them kicked it halfway down the field. Another one dribbled it toward the second grader's goal. He took it and fired. Tommy, who was goalie for the second graders, caught the ball. Hooray! Shouted Sam again. He knew it was right for Tommy to catch the ball. In soccer, goalies are the only players who can do that. Tommy threw the ball to Sam. Sam passed it to Macro. Macro ran it down the other and passed it back to Sam. Same guy with a good hard kick. The ball sailed over the goalie head. Now the score was 2 plus 1. 2 equals 1. The third graders weren't used to losing. They began to make mistakes. They caught the ball with their hand. Every time that the second grader shouted, "No hand!" The second grader started scoring it crazy. Bam! Chase got a goal. Slam! He got another one. 1-1-1. Billy got the 1 goal and Rosie got 2. But then Sam and Macro were the teamsters. They ran soccer and the third graders. They scored 6 goals. When lunchtime was over, the score was 19 equals 1. A whip out, said Sam. The third graders were good losers. They all shook hands with the second graders. They asked Macro if he teach how to play better. "See," says Macro, "Sam could same teach you to." Everyone laughed. "Sam could same!" They shout. "Sam could same!" And that's how Sam got his nicknames. At first, he wasn't sure of it or not. "It Bruno?" asked Marco. "You like new name?" Says at the cousin. He knew that anything Mara gave him, he would like. "See," said Sam, "I like graders." The end. Bye bye.